The fact he's reached his 200th Grand Prix is no surprise, and he's continued to improve through all of the seasons that he's been in Formula One.
He is a racer, but that I mean he's a man who is dedicated and loved because he loves it.
If you haven't got a good solid head on your shoulders, you're not going to go far. You can have talent, but you've got to be able to think as well. And that's what impressed me right at the beginning with Mark, and that's what impresses me still today with Mark.
You don't get to do one Grand Prix if you don't have certain talent, and you certainly don't get to do 200 if you're not delivering value.
You just know when the special ones come along, and Mark was certainly in that category.
The Minardi opportunity come up, and there was Stoddart running the team.
Straight away, I just knew that we were going to have a good year, but I never in my wildest dreams could imagine what was going to happen in the first race in Australia.
Stoddart just said to me on the grid, "Look, mate, if you can get this car home, that'll be an absolute dream for me."
So the race started. There's a massive accident, the first corner. All I see on the screen is two Minardis going through. Well, first of all, we had the news that Mark's car was terminal, but as the race developed, Mark's up into 5th place. With 5 laps to go, you're starting to pray, you're starting to think, can this car get home?
Got the car to the end, and the response and the reaction from the crowd was obviously very unique.
The whole of Albert Park has come to the pit lane. It was just one of those crazy moments in Formula One that will go down in history. And, what a way to start your Formula One career.
You can't help but not learn from Frank in the scenario he is in.
The other thing that struck me about Mark at the time was he was one of those men for whom Formula One was a passion. It wasn't just a nice thing, I'll do while I'm young and make some money. He was very passionate about it. And that means, again, people like Mark, young drivers, they work physically and intellectually.
He's a very, very tough cookie when it comes to, the performance expectations of every key member in the team, and as well as the drivers.
We always get on famously well. But I will say we take the piss out of each other all the time, because that's healthy. Keeps us both our feet on the ground. But he's very popular in Formula One, and very popular within these 4 walls. Good memories of Mark.
We had DC. We wanted a really strong teammate to go with David. Mark was the obvious choice.
Well, he was an immediate candidate because we needed a quick driver, a front-running driver.
He was always a much stronger qualifier than I was. I think that we were quite evenly matched on race pace.
It was such a raw, fresh team when I first joined it, and that was, as I say, a big attraction and something mentally I needed at that point.
I don't think when Mark signed to join the team, he could have ever imagined the kind of success and the Constructors' Championships that he's contributed to that we would go on to achieve.
Germany, I was so happy for him, and it was so overdue. It was always he had the talent, but he didn't have the luck, or he didn't have the car.
When he achieved that first win in Germany, I think it was a tribute to not only his driving, but also his contribution to the team.
Mark was truly dominant that weekend, and having qualified on the pole, I don't think anything was going to stop him on that day from winning his first Grand Prix, which was great to see.
The last 2 or 3 laps, I remember, it was spitting with rain down at turn 7 or down the bottom end of the circuit, and I'm just thinking, nothing else now, just leave me alone, I just want to get this win, please. Also, it was important that it wasn't a jammy win, it was a win that you deserved.
Mark achieved what he's got by his own determination and skill. And that there is no doubt he deserves and should receive full recognition of that.
It's almost a one-off track. It happens that some drivers simply gel very well at certain circuits.
Well, he's always been quick in Monte Carlo. To win the race in 2010 and 2012, is a remarkable strike rate, and I think a race that Mark will be very proud to have on his CV.
Joined a nice club of drivers that have won around there in the past, and so now to have done it twice, it's special.
Mark never ever loses his drive and motivation. I think that's the real testament to why he's still going strong at his 200th Grand Prix.
I think that part of a sportsman's mind is that you're never 100% satisfied.
I mean, we've seen in other sports people like Ryan Giggs go on for many years because they kept themselves in good shape, because they've they've applied themselves well, and that's exactly the same with Mark.
Mark's a sporting hero, he's a legend, and he's going to stay that way. And I mean, the 200 milestone, I think, you know, we'll be sitting down again doing the 250 milestone.
Yeah, but he's had a great career since then, gone on to better and better things. He deserves them fully. Everything he's achieved, he's deserved it.
You always want to be 25, mate. I'd still love to be 25 now, but I've got more wisdom now, you know, a little bit wiser in certain areas. I still feel very fit. I still feel hungry. I still enjoy driving the cars. 200, yeah, let's see how many more we can do.